Welcome everybody to a brand new video. It's me, I'm back with some friends, Exfredds and Piffle. You all know them.
Hello everyone.
Y'all know me, and y'all probably love us.
We're doing something very special. We are doing a tier list video. The topic is which indie games belong on Death Battle. I got a whole bunch of stuff right here.
Oh my god.
Yes.
I grabbed every indie game that I have either played, heard about, or know of. And here we have the tiers. We can see at the top is Heck Yeah. Below that is Would Want. Then below that is Passing Interest. Don't Care is pretty self-explanatory. And below that is the Fuck Off tier, which I know sounds harsh, but with some of these, it's gonna be understandable.
Yeah.
Well, technically it's censored, so the audience doesn't technically know if it's F off. Guess what, guys? It's fluff off. I'm just kidding.
Oh, shut up.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll do Fluff Off.
We'll see how this goes. I'm excited.
Starting off with a Hat in Time. I saw that as our first. This is gonna be a weird one.
Straight to the top, no questions asked.
Yeah.
Okay, can I put in a bit of 2 cents there? Can I put in a bit of 2 cents with this?
Yeah. What do you?
I think it would be pretty good to see most characters in a Hat in Time. I think especially Snatcher would be like a pretty good, like a pretty cool addition or something like that. I think Hat Kid's pretty good too, but it's a little iffy on how they would use her. I feel like a lot of like the base level stuff with her is like attack with the umbrella and homing attack.
Yeah, but given the people she scales to, like she took out the Snatcher, and he's pretty powerful. You could get her on a pretty decent scale of like how powerful she is, and like.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm not saying she's powerful. I just don't know what could they do with her besides like just the hats, and like most of the hats don't do things to like attack.
You brought up the Snatcher. I actually have a matchup for him. Like I made a post about it, like the Snatcher versus the Devil from Cuphead. That's a really good matchup that
I think that would be kind of cool. I think most characters work, and it deserves the Heck Yeah tier. I just feel like some of them might not work.
Yeah, like I would like to see Mustache Girl, but at the same time, how she works even less than Hat Kid due to her lack of screen time. But, like,
so that character in particular would be around Passing Interest.
She has a lot more things that she can do because of her boss fight and stuff. She has a lot more things that she can like physically pull out. Hat Kid has hats, but again, most of them don't give her combative abilities.
Okay, anyway, next up, After Us.
I don't
really know much of this one. I don't really know much of this one.
I don't know about this one either.
So basically, it's like a very recent indie game that I actually 100%ed, and it's basically, well, the whole concept's like it's about environmentalism in like a supernatural sense, and like trying to bring the world back after it was destroyed. It's actually a pretty good game. I recommend it.
Alright, I'll think about it, but, I don't really know if I could give an input on this, because once again, I haven't heard of it, so I think Tony is probably the only one that could...
Yeah, you can make an input on this, Tony, because me and Exfredds actually have no idea, but I need to check this out.
Yeah, you're the only one that could give this tier.
There's only one real character you can use, and that's the main character. And while she doesn't fight all that much, she does have some manner of feats to where I think that she could work. I even have a matchup for her in mind with another character on this list that we'll get to later. But for now, it's so niche and so relatively new that it's probably not going to happen. So I'm going to put her in, like, Passing Interest.
I think that's fair.
From what you just stated of, like, she doesn't have that many, like, fighting capabilities, that's the thing that I'm, like, really focused on. If they don't have a lot of material to pull from, then I feel like they're more likely to do like, or they're more likely to just like it gets like really repetitive after like a good while. So
we also gotta be very considerate.
Like, there's a lot of traversal in After Us, and I think if they mix her limited combat abilities with a whole lot of creative traversal that's like found in the game, I think it could actually be pretty interesting that way.
We do have to. Now we also gotta be a little considerate on like how much potential research that Death Battle would put into these sources of meat. Because I just recently rewatched your video on characters you don't want in Death Battle, and some of the points you brought up for some of the characters that they wouldn't put up certain research for certain stuff.
Yeah, especially.
Yeah.
So I think that's one factor we should put into this.
Yeah, but like a lot of the entries on this list have like one game to cover, and like you gotta cover everything in that game to get something.
I see the next game on the list, and
Amanda the Adventurer. Do you think you can get anything out of Amanda the Adventurer?
Honestly,
I don't care on this one.
You may not care. I'm voting F off.
I would not care because I don't care about Amanda in general.
I think that maybe if given enough time, Amanda herself could actually be worked. I mean, there is a sequel currently in development, but as of right now, I think this is our first bottom right tier. Cause
thank God.
Get Amanda out of here.
Yeah,
I don't care about her.
Amnesia.
Do they attack her?
Not just the Dark Descent, like the whole Amnesia.
Yeah, I figured.
I'm not that versed on Amnesia. Do they even fight in that game? Don't you just sneak around stuff?
I mean, you do, but there are creatures in the games that maybe could be considered, like the Bunker Beast from like the most recent game, Amnesia the Bunker, could potentially work, but you'd have to like really like comb over that game in order to get something beyond the base.
I think it could be like a low passing interest. I think like if you could stretch anything out of the monsters, I think it could be cool. It's not like it wouldn't be something that I could say like I don't care for, because like it does sound like it could be good, but I don't think I would actively want that. I think I'm more after us.
Because if I'm interested if they could get anything out of it, but like I don't really want it, to be honest.
What is Among Us on?
I mean, Among Us versus Fall Guy exists.
I don't.
I'm gonna be honest here.
I'm gonna put don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
It does, but like
I don't care.
In general, doesn't have much to pull from besides like the death animations and Fanon.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Fall Guys has more to pull off of, but like Fall Guys doesn't really attack. The most you do is like steal a tail or something, or push people off ledges.
Here's the thing. I saw someone talk about this kind of matchup, and they brought up the idea of using both the stuff in the game and like the shorts that they released, like the trailers, using all the stuff in the trailers and like the different costumes both of them wear. Which
I think that could be interesting, but I don't see it, honestly.
Me neither. I'm sorry, but no.
If it does happen, you can come to me and start yelling like, it actually does happen, it was really good, but like, at the moment, I don't actually care.
I'll put it in don't care, because even though I do like the idea of Fall Guy versus the Imposter, it is only the 9th most wanted, and you guys like really do not care, and this is a group tier list. Because like if it was just me, I'd probably put it in like maybe would want or passing interest, but since it's all of us, we'll put in don't care.
Oh, I'm ready for this one.
Another crab's treasure. I'm just not. This one, I'm also not really.
I'm heavily agreeing with this. I think like the whole thing with like all the different like shells he wears and like all the just like all that. I think it could genuinely like do well.
Yeah.
And like contend with people. I would say like the main character could face up against like a lot of like more like not like Souls mascots, but like maybe more of the goofy people, like Hackett. This is just theoretical. I'm just saying.
But personally speaking, I do think Krill, like that's the main character's name, could really work. I played a bit of Another Crab's Treasure, and I think it could really work. But my main problem is that, like, I do not know who he fights. Because you gotta remember, he's a hermit crab. He's really small, and he fights underwater, like deep underwater. Like, someone actually brought up the idea of like Olimar facing off against Krill, but like that's so limiting for Olimar. The only pick that he'd be able to use is like the.
I was about to bring up Olimar.
I think I would put it in like if he could find a genuine like good matchup, I would absolutely want him in there.
So I think it's fair to say we'll put him in Wood Wands. We just don't know who we would actually fight.
As Dead of Night, I've actually heard of this one. Not much, but I have heard of it.
I don't know.
I honestly do not think this would really work, because, like, the only interesting character that you would work is, like, the main villain, Hugo, but, like, he's just a guy with a stick.
Okay, that's enough to say.
Nobody's gonna understand this, but every time I hear Hugo, I think of Wakfu, and it brings back bad memories. Don't.
All these basics. Fuck.
Why? How? Screw you!
Hey,
Okay, even get on this tier list. How? Bro, I hate Baldy, for one, and two, that's stupid.
I'm gonna slap you with a ruler 5 times over, and I'm gonna summon all my friends who aren't me to do most of the do most damage and stuff.
Get him out.
Oh, Bendy.
Come on.
Okay.
Bare minimum.
Come on.
Yeah, I would want bare minimum. I don't know about heck yeah.
I would personally want heck yeah, but I'm willing to hear some reasons behind it.
Okay, so like for like I think the feats that we've seen, like, because I'm thinking that one of the better mashups would be like the Ink Demon himself, and I think
definitely
seeing him do are like fine. The first game is like, oh, he charges at you and then he can kill you.
Wait, is Darker? Wait, hold on. This has the Ink Machine logo. Is there like, anything?
We're counting the franchise.
Okay. All right.
I think Dark Revival has more potential. But Dark Revival also has to do with the main character, or like the biggest feat that he did was because he was combined with Audrey, as Wilson would say. Audrey.
I would really like to see her. Like, I'd like to see either her or Henry.
I think
again, I think it's fair because I
need more development before we can go into heck yeah. As much as I would really like to see like Audrey versus somebody else, I don't think Audrey can do that much.
Okay, but at the same time, what are the chances of Audrey appearing in the third Bendy game?
I mean, there's a chance. She's the ruler of the 8 world now.
I think they could do some really creative stuff, but I'm not like, yes, put Snatcher in. I'm not like that same type of energy.
The Binding of Isaac.
Ooh, this is a weird one. I think
I might have heard of this one.
Morally, I think Isaac is like, no, do not. He's tortured enough.
I've heard of a matchup involving like Isaac versus like the Lamb from the Cult of the Lamb, which is on this list, by the way. But as far as my actual investment in the Binding of Isaac, I personally don't care.
Here's my thing about that is like the Lamb from Cult of the Lamb is like a full-on leader. Isaac is literally just a kid that got put down with like a bunch of monsters and stuff because his mother was like toxically religious or something like that. Isaac is really messed up to put in any of these scenarios and shouldn't be in death battle because he doesn't deserve to die. I wish we could have like a morally wrong tier. Yeah, we do. Like, I feel like
honestly.
Yeah, like with purple.
No, you're changing the freaking.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, alright. Oh yeah, you're changing the wrong one.
Change it to and it's like morally wrong. Like morally wrong. Wrong. And we'll put Binding of Isaac there.
Yeah, because Isaac is a kid, and any of the other monsters are just pathetic to put in there.
Yeah. Blue Fire. This is another one I haven't heard of. Man, I'm embarrassed.
Blue Fire is basically 3D Hollow Knight, and I played a little bit of it. I saw like Nitro Rat's video on it, and it looks kind of interesting. I haven't played enough of it to really say if I really want, like, the main character, because, like, as far as I know, that's the only person it would be. But I think, at a minimum, I think it would be, like, at most, it'd be, like, a passing interest.
Also, the Silk Song fans have more copium to deal with today because there was a direct.
Oh,
I feel so bad for anyone who, like,
you
really
will not
wants...
believe what is later in this list.
Bramble.
Bramble the Mountain King.
I think I might have heard of this one.
It's basically a Little Nightmare-style game.
Yeah, okay, now I know.
Well, you see, I've actually played the entirety of it, so, I think, like, some of the creatures in there could be technically used, because, like, during their boss fights, some of the creatures have pretty varied movesets, but, like, I feel like if you're gonna do that, you might as well just use the actual mythological creatures with, like, the game as a reference point. But, the main character of the game, who is a child, which, unfortunately, there's a lot of child protagonists on this list, but, like...
Oh, God.
But, like...
We won't put it... Okay, here's the thing with, like, the child protagonists. We won't put it in we won't put, like, them immediately and morally wrong unless they're the matchup, mainly. Hat Kid... Okay, here's my thing with, like, Hat Kid. Like, Hat Kid, yeah, she's a kid, but she's, like, also an alien. I think she's fine. I think she's fine to be put in here.
But, the thing about the main protagonist of, like, Bramble, like, his name's Ole, and he goes through a lot of messed up stuff throughout the game. Like he fights a lot of, like, supernatural creatures and survives. Barely in some cases, but he can hold his own. Like, he can hold his own pretty well.
Yeah, like he can hold his own. I think that works. So the people that are gonna be like, well, Isaac can hold his own. His main attack is crying.
I'm gonna put this in passing interest at best because all the reasons we stated, like, I think it could be interesting if you were to do it, but it's not something I would want.
That last thing that Piffle said absolutely killed me.
Okay, Bug Fable.
Alright, let's go. Alright.
I can agree with this one.
I have passing interest in Bug Fables. Like, I've seen it be done. I haven't played it myself, but I think it could be interesting. And I heard a matchup for, like, the three main characters of Bug Fables versus, like, Alf, Brittany, and Charlie from Pikmin 3, which I think could actually be interesting.
I'd say passing interest. There's some potential.
I think passing interest, but, like, a high passing interest, because, like, I see more out of Bug Fables than I do out of, like, the other ones, because, like, the other ones, like, they barely have any fighting prowess. Bug Fables, like, the main protagonists of Bug Fables do have fighting prowess, and they could do some really interesting stuff with those characters. So I think they would go, like, higher, but yeah.
You're also putting that in morally wrong.
No, screw that.
If anyone knows what's coming up, which I'm not gonna state here, you know that I feel very strongly on absolutely not. Madeline's gone through well enough at this point. Sure, she's like slightly more mature than Isaac, so therefore she's like doesn't have to like subdue as much as him, as much like trauma. She's not as traumatized as Isaac would be, but she has still gone through so much. And what would you even want her in there for? To be an indie icon to go against Peppino? No, she can
That's disgusting.
The only boss fight she has is fighting Battlein, and even when you're fighting Battlein, you know the only thing that you do to actually attack her, you move into her. You don't dash. You don't have to dash. Usually, sometimes you do, but you're still not actually hurting her. You're just getting bounced away by her. You're not attacking.
Battlein, like, she's the only other character you would use, and even then, that is just
not
a good idea, because you're taking the physical manifestation of someone's depression, anxiety, and trauma, and putting it into a battle. Okay,
I'm still mad that Celeste didn't even. I'm still mad that Madeline didn't get number one worst. I know it was by Undertale bias, but still, I think Madeline is arguably more messed up than both Frisk and having both Frisk and Madeline on Death Battle really suck. Do not get me wrong, but if I were to be honest, I think Madeline would be a more messed up choice in my eyes.
To be honest, Frisk and Madeline, looking back, are pretty interchangeable. My Undertale bias only came first because is what put Frisk first. But like I could easily put like Madeline or Frisk above on the list of don't.
Charles, this one is interesting to say the least.
I don't know how you would do Choo Choo Charles because I haven't actually seen any of his feats.
I've played Choo Choo Charles, and on the one hand, your confusion is warranted. Choo Choo Charles, the only person you would use is Charles himself, and he doesn't really do a whole lot. But at the same time, Charles versus the Magic School Bus would be hysterical.
I would. Okay. That is really funny.
Okay. Just because you said that, I'm putting it on passive interest.
Okay. In my opinion, though, Magic School Bus wins. No diff. Ooh, crosscode. I actually know about this one because of Ant Dude.
Oh yeah.
One video on this, and I think it was Ant Dude's video too. But I don't know anything about it. I never played it, but
I'm just gonna say don't care.
I actually, from what
I'm being honest,
they could work. I think passing interest is there because
it's
not that they don't work. They absolutely do. The main character definitely has fighting prowess. I'd say it could definitely. They are definitely.
Yeah. At the same time, the characters aren't really desirable.
Yeah.
They work. I just don't think they're desirable.
I guess both of you don't really know about it, but
I'm not saying it can't work because it obviously can. I just don't really have any investment in the game due to not having played it. Maybe I'll play it one day and maybe get up into like passing interest or even would want. But as of right now, since two of us don't care, we'll put it in don't care.
I don't actually know much about this. I know it's like a rhythm game. I know it's like a rhythm fighting thing, which
a rhythm game cross beats a roguelike.
Yeah.
And it's also infamous for being like the most anti-completionist game ever. Like some people label that Undertale, but like the Crypt of the Necrodancer will put you through all 9 circles of hell, dig 12 more, and then put you through those just to prevent you from getting the platinum trophy.
Yeah. Oh! I saw a game down there that is also anti-completion.
We'll get to it when we get to it. But right for now, I think the main character Cadence and like some of the other characters could be interesting. Because like I have a niche matchup of like Cadence versus Tempo from Armor Knight, but like it's a passing interest at best.
Yeah, I agree with that. Cult of the Lamb.
Yeah. So I'm not only gonna speak out of my like own experience from it, but I'm gonna speak from the experience of my friends. Yeah, this could definitely work. I think the lamb itself and the whole idea of it being like a cult leader, I think that could work for this. It also makes the killing like morally fine.
Yeah, like as long as like the whole matchup of like the lamb versus Isaac, that's more on Isaac rather than Cult of the Lamb. I think the lamb can work, but like I'm not super heavily invested in it due to having never played it. Like I do have some interest, but like I'm not invested.
Yeah. Oh. Cuphead. This one.
Heck yeah.
I wouldn't mind. As long as it's one of the higher 2 tiers, I wouldn't mind. Okay,
who we pull besides the devil? I don't. Okay, when it comes to Cuphead and like Mugman, I feel like actually Cuphead and Mugman could work as a duo. I don't know if Cuphead just himself would work. I think he could do some interesting things with him. I think it would be pretty interesting to have like a Cuphead and Mugman versus like another iconic brother duo. Yeah, I think Cuphead would work.
Yeah, like Cuphead, even beyond just like the game and its DLC, there's like a show. There are like several comics. Like
Okay. I'm gonna say this: if we pull from the show, oh god, absolutely not, because in the show they are children.
I mean,
crap!
And they barely have fighting prowess in that show.
Also kids.
They just think their way out of stuff. That's like kind of messed up if we pull from the show, but I think game-wise, yeah.
Dark Deception.
Ooh, Dark Deception.
Alright. Honestly,
From Dark. Who are we pulling from this? Because, I think the most
Malik
out characters. The most
Malik
characters are the mascot trio. What's his name?
The main character, the main character actually gains quite a few abilities that could be used.
He gains quite a few abilities, but like, which one of them actually like attack stuff?
Well, there's a shockwave. There's like a teleport. There's like a speed boost and a
shockwave.
Like a speed boost that can like blitz through walls. So that's something.
Well, here's my thing on that. The speed boost can only destroy specific walls, and the shockwave only stuns people. He doesn't really like attack besides like some of the bosses. But like, I mean they're like multi-purpose, but like. There's only so much we can do with him so far because the game itself is not done.
If they're gonna do it, I think they should wait a little bit. I'm still baffled like with why they released Super Dark Deception, some of Super Dark Deception before the actual Dark Deception is finished. But like, I think it should like go in passing interest because I would be interested to see like what they would.
That's a fair. Yeah, I'd say that's fair. I would personally put it in Wood Want, but you have a convincing reason.
Alive by Nighttime.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know. I'd say it could work, but
I think the best representation you can do for Dead by Daylight is like use it as a reference point for all of the crossover characters.
I think it'd be more important to focus on the original characters from Dead by because I feel like
now I'm thinking about it.
It's like if we included that, we'd have to include the bias of the last series.
There is something here that does put it in passing interest for me, but like if it never made it on, I wouldn't lose sleep.
Deltarune.
Well, the way I see it, I'm just gonna get my thoughts right away. Even though it's not finished, I think one-off characters like Jevil and Spamton could actually work at least.
Yeah.
Since I think if Jevil is any indication, the super bosses are only going to be like once per chapter. So I think using them would be fine. But if you're going to use anyone else, like the Lightners, well, first of all, there's the whole like debate over whether or not you should even use them at all because of the pacifist options. But like, if you were to use them, I would wait until the game is at least mostly done, if not fully done, before you ever use like Chris, Susie, or Housing.
Like you have Susie, you have Rosa, you have Noelle, and I think like all of them would go into like kinda no because like sure.
I personally just don't care.
But like they literally attend school.
I don't know. I understand where some people are coming from, but I would just put in don't care.
I feel like Chris is Chris is like one of the better ones to put in there because
are you gonna pull an F off?
No. I think I'm gonna put in don't. I think I'm gonna put in don't care for now because like
that's fair.
Like I've heard some matches for like Jevil, and I heard like one for Spamton, like Spamton versus Kane from like the Amazing Digital Circus. But like not only are both of those not done, but like Kane, like, I don't think it's really possible for them to cross over. Like, one is specifically tied to a game, and the other is in the internet.
Demon Turf? Yeah. What the hell is that?
Okay, so Demon Turf and by proxy, Demon Turf Neon Splash.
I've never heard of this.
Okay, so I've only played Neon Splash because Neon Splash is essentially DLC that is sold as a separate game, which I appreciate because it's like $5. But from that, I figured out her abilities, and sure, I guess.
I've seen the game in action. I haven't played it, but I would like to. I think it could be interesting to see what they could pull, because, like, I have a matchup for Hat Kid. Like, it's, like, the main character Beebs versus Hat Kid. Like, I made that one.
God.
Like, Beebs is one of, frankly, a lot of characters that, like, Hat Kid has for, like, a matchup. But, like, I think Beebs herself could be interesting. I'm pretty sure I've seen footage of, like, her fighting. So,
I haven't seen
something you can pull for them, and I have.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be much of her, like, much combat, at least. from like her like actual normal moveset. It's just kind of changing into different things, which I think is cool. You don't utilize it as much, at least again, I'm only going off of Neon Splash, so I wouldn't know.
Was that Doki Doki that was up next? I'd say.
Fuck him I've heard some like Monica defenders in like the comment section. It's just like you really do not understand how Monica actually operates. I've heard like Monica versus like Kara and Monica versus like Kirito bet, and both suck.
What is Dust?
I never actually I might have heard of that. I'm not sure.
Like it's like a kind of a Metroidvania that's like drawn. Like the game is in the style like one of those old cartoons. But not really like one of those like a Cuphead kind of old, like, but it's like one of those old things you like see from like a what's a good comparison? Like it's kind of like an anime, but like I played it. It's actually very interesting, and I think the main character could work. I just have no idea who he fights.
Ever?
This is also one I had never heard of.
I actually have not played Everhood. I've just only heard about it.
So, is that like a don't care kind of thing?
Yeah,
or,
I think that's a don't care, since none of us really know enough about it.
Like, there is like not that much material.
I don't think so.
Or like in-game or like trailers, there's not much to pull by. They are essentially just like nameless wipeout contestants. I want to weigh in a little bit on like why I'm saying like I don't care for it. The only real thing that I see people do is like, oh well, the Fall Guy is actually invincible to a feat. You realize that like no, they're technically no, they're not. The only thing that you see them get hit by in the game is themselves, like exploding party bombs or whatever, or like inflatable stuff. They're not invincible. They're just not getting hit by anything that's like actually does any damage to them.
Okay, FNAF. You guys know how I feel about this.
No, fuck off.
Okay, I would like to actually rant a bit about like FNAF being on Death Battle, because like we all unanimously agree that it's like a fuck off, but like I have gotten so much pushback over including the animatronics on like the list of characters I don't want, because like I've heard arguments like, oh, they could just composite all the Freddy's. Like, no,
the hell they can't composite all the Freddy's, because then you'd have to because then by that logic you're also compiling all of the kids in the suits.
As much as I do have been warmed up to the idea of like William Afton versus Junko and her.
Wait, cut the show for a second. I want to take the time to mention how stupid it is to put Junko into Death Battle. First of all, she herself has no fighting capabilities. Her biggest feat was manipulating people so that she could start the tragedy. When she's alone though, she's useless. Second of all, her Monokuma army, the warriors will help use them now, and they aren't in this fight. They're children. And last, but not least, if I hear anyone say anything about the punishments and how she can use those to kill people, no she can't, because all those take place in the room below a school. So how would she be able to make one for a random encounter with a person who's not even an ultimate? Plus, she's not going to use a punishment from another person. She wants to bring ultimate despair. Piff out.
FNAF and I guess Danganronpa by extension. FNAF and Danganronpa by extension just go in the fuck off tier easily.
No, Danganronpa can actually go complete to the morally wrong here, because most of the people in there are actual children or high schoolers.
Freedom Planet?
Yeah, I guess. I'm not very mid on it. I don't really care all that much for Freedom Planet, but
yeah, me neither. I honestly would say don't care, to be honest.
It can work. Like I played the first game. It can work, and especially since there's a second game right now. But I will say I really do not want Sonic versus Lilac, because like that is
Jesus Christ, no.
Like a basic. Like the most basic matchup you could think of, like, oh, here's a character from an indie game that's inspired by a major franchise fighting the guy from said franchise. Sonic like mops the floor with Lilac. Like Lilac doesn't even come close to the amount of stuff Sonic can do.
FNF shit is ass. Shit is ass.
Okay, here's my thing with FNF. When people bring it up, and I think of the FNF original characters, I say no. Yes, you could say it's a subsidiary of Pico's school. Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. I don't really care. I don't really care that much. Pico in his own game doesn't even do that much. We're not ranking Pico based on his appearance in Friday Night Funkin'. We're not basing Tank Man on his appearance in Friday Night Funkin'. Just no.
I was gonna say, like, the only characters you would use outside of Boyfriend, which I've already went on depth that why that doesn't work. The only other characters you would use are like Pico and Tankman, and they don't even originate from Friday Night Funkin'. By the way, if Pico's school shooting was on here, that would go in the morally wrong tier in
Hell yeah.
Frog on. It's really silly to think about.
Well, yeah. I was like, what the fuck is this?
I actually haven't played that.
Frogun is a fairly recent game. It's like a PS1 style adventure game, but it's like isometric and more puzzle focused. But there is fighting involved.
Yeah,
I think it could work. From Benjamin.
I think this one's really silly to put in, and I think her going up against like another silly protagonist would work. But I think it doesn't have that much demand. Right. Like if she does, like yeah, sure. I don't really care about that.
I don't really care that much.
What's that?
It's also another fairly recent one. It's kind of like if Alan Wake and Silent Hill had Hello Neighbor's art style. I played it. It's actually really fun, but I do not want it because like none of the monsters present in there would be like worthwhile because they don't do much on their one-time appearances, and you cannot use the main character because she is just a little girl with a flashlight. Hades.
That one is just okay.
I've seen the game in action. I think it could work, but I don't care.
What?
What the hell is this?
It's another mascot horror game with like a...
Oh yeah, I have seen this.
Hellpie.
Oh yeah, Hell a Hat in Time.
Yeah, Hat in Time if it were 18 plus.
I don't know. Hellpie... I'd see it, and I don't think it should go and don't care. I think it could go a little higher. But like Hellpie doesn't have the same like staying power to me as like Half Kid herself.
I think passing interest would be fair because the game seems fun if you throw aside all the raunch. Hello
neighbor. Hell no.
Okay.
Hell no.
I would go as far to put it into morally wrong because
honestly. I actually can kind of see that. I can actually kind of see that.
Okay, first of all, the neighbor himself, he's grieving! You break into his house for absolute...
Yeah, that's right! Morally wrong! He's got a good point. Bro, put that there.
Yeah, okay, I will say, the neighbor can fight. Like, I've seen the animated series, and he does throw a fair bit of hands in that movie. But, like, you guys have a good point. And, like, besides him, who are you really gonna use? The guest? The guest does even less than Theodore.
Hollow Knight, yeah.
Hollow Knight. This one, I think, I would honestly be very interested. I would be very interested.
I want to put that at the top. I want to see the night.
Do it.
I would love that. I would love that. Yes. Yes.
Ever gets released,
it will never get released, but still, if in the 1 in a million chance it does,
I think Hornet would be a good choice to like also along with the Knight. But like until that day comes, I still would really like to see it.
Yeah, when you
what the fuck are you supposed to do with Inside?
I think that says enough already.
It'll do.
It'll do.
Like, I think it could be interesting, but like I do not care. Before we continue, I need to get some water. I need to refill my water bottle, so I'll be back in a bit.
Hey guys, if you like this video from Tony Sonic, you guys should subscribe to Tony Sonic. And while you're at it, you should go subscribe to me and Exfredds because that would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, that'd be very appreciated. Thank you. Heyo.
Wow. KO the kangaroo.
Honestly, a bit
I think he could.
I played the bit of a reboot. Like, apparently it's been going on for, like, a really long time, but just no one's ever heard of it until, like, the reboot came out. But, like, I personally do not really have that much interest, but I do think KO could be interesting.
I think KO could, like, maybe work with, like, the other two random PlayStation dudes that got, like, a reboot, like Crash
or Spyro, but, like, as far as, like, actual investment and, like, him showing up, I do not care.
Yeah, it's just
Kaze and the Wild Mass. I think I would have interest in seeing, like, Kaze herself on the show, but, like, that's as far as it goes, like, passive interest.
Objection!
Little Nightmare.
I don't know.
Little Nightmare.
Do you? Okay, name me one instance where you fight in Little Nightmares.
I can't really name. Well, actually, yeah.
So, like, I think it could be interesting, like, especially if you, like, composite him with, like, well, there's a spoiler, but, like, I won't spoil it here, but, like, I think it could be interesting to see, like, how far you could go with mono, but aside from that, I'm just gonna put it in passing interest.
I've heard of this one. I think that's gonna be a don't care for me.
I think it's a don't care. I have.
So, two don't cares, like, but, personally, even though I never played the game, I've actually heard that, like, the main character, the Unknown, actually gets absurdly powerful towards the end. So I think there is some interest there, but I mean, two of you don't care, so I'm gonna put it in don't care.
What was the next one?
Okay, alright. So, what's our main? Alright, so tell me our main character's name again. I forgot his name.
His name is Gordon.
Hey, so do you remember the fact that Gordon is a war veteran?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it makes sense how he wields all those guns.
Well, yeah, but considering that he's a war vet, he most likely has I don't know, PTSD.
I mean, Captain America is also used.
Yeah, Captain America has PTSD, but he's like a more powerful hero. He has like a special shield and stuff. Gordon's just a normal person who is in the army. Absolutely not.
I wouldn't put it in, like, morally wrong, because, like, Death Battle has these characters like Solid Snake and Sam Fisher, which are, like, special ops that obviously would have trauma from those events. So I don't think putting Gordon would necessarily be morally wrong, but at the same time, I don't want to see him, and, like, there's no one else who would use. Alright, no straight roads. I know one of us put that in heck yeah.
Yeah, I can put that in heck yeah.
I think it would be cool though to have some of these guys in there.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Kai and 808 versus Mayday and Zook would be is one of my. I don't know if I'm, like, really invested, like, because, like, it's only number 8 on my list, and I also don't think any of the other characters will be that interesting. But, like, it's would want at the very least.
I think that like all the characters and the bosses besides the child could work. Yeah, I think they all have like abilities that could make them work in death battle. I think it could definitely go up in heck yeah, but like
You know what? For you, Piffle, I'll put it in heck yeah. I'll put it in heck yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Cross.
Given that we all don't know much about it, I think don't care is best here.
I have so many interest in it because, like, Sans versus Judge, because, like, Judge is a character from Off, and, like, I would like it purely to see Sans, but, like, if that's my only reason, then it's safe to assume I don't care about Off itself. Omori.
No, please, no.
No, that's not talk. That's morally no. That's morally no.
I've seen like a bunch of people say
massive no.
I think anyone from like Omori would just like not be in good faith. So like morally wrong is definitely a good.
Absolutely. There's so much traumatizing stuff that goes on there.
One shot.
Nika doesn't really attack. Nika doesn't really do much. attack-wise.
I don't really care. I don't really care that much because I've never.
Me neither. Me neither. I don't care.
Do anything fight-wise. I don't care.
Yeah, I do not care.
Ori.
Yeah. I think he could definitely work. He definitely has fighting prowess. It's shown by the fact that he's in Rivals. He has fighting prowess.
Yeah. Like even though he doesn't fight, even though he doesn't have that many attacks in like the first game, the second game he is a warrior in the second. I'm not sure if I want to put him in heck yeah, because like beyond Ori, there's not really anyone else you would use.
Yeah, no. But I'd be interested.
Oh yeah.
Right, what's Outlast. As much as I do vibe with the idea of like Chris Walker versus like just Springtrap, I'm not sure it would lend itself that well because like beyond Chris Walker, most of the other people in like all the games don't do much of anything. So I'm gonna put that in don't care. Penny's Big Breakaway.
I've actually seen footage of this one. That looks.
I have this another one I haven't heard of. Jesus Christ, I need to catch up. Dude.
Made by like Sonic developers or something.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Here's my experience with Penny's Big Breakaway. I had seen this game in passing on like Nintendo Directs, and I thought, oh, this looks pretty interesting. And then I saw it was like from the Sonic Mania that was like, oh yeah, I need to play this. And then they shadow dropped it that one Direct. I bought it. I heard some things about it, but I went and played it. When I played it anyway, and I dropped it after the second world. It's not even like there is merit to it, but like the controls are ass. You are on ice basically the entire game. That is how slippery it is.
It's Sonic Advance 3 all over.
It's Sonic, Heroes, and Shadow.
It's Heroes and Shadow all over again. I love Heroes though. I think that's a little harsh.
That being said, I would like to see Penny. I think she could be used. I think she could have some use.
Pizza Tower. Oh god.
No. Massive no.
I mentioned this in the supercut when we were discussing why Madeline doesn't work.
I mean, that's on Celeste, not Pizza Tower. Like, you can still have Pepino.
Here's my thing. I mentioned this while we were doing that because you mentioned the Madeline versus Pepino thing. I mentioned Pepino, and I mentioned the entire plot that even sets Pepino to do what he does. He does it because his entire restaurant is going to explode. He's not like actively trying to just like fight people. He's just trying to get his restaurant back.
Yeah, we're not
only killing the necessary people. He's just a stressed out, like paranoid Italian.
No, are you putting it above and above?
I mean, I think it could be interesting. I mean, I haven't played it myself. I haven't played it myself, but like, since you two are so vehemently against it,
I don't want it.
But like,
I want to add one more thing to this.
What?
New Game Plus, the noise. I think the noise could work actually. Pepino, no. The noise? Yeah.
Poppy playtime?
Shantae.
What is
like Shantae.
I never heard of it.
I would like to see Shantae is basically a series of video games that like it's kind of like a 2D platformer mixed with a Metroidvania.
Shantae's solid in this. I think Shantae could definitely work, and I think I would want to see her in there.
Yeah, we got with someone who has no idea what it is, but like I know what it is, and I think I would like to see Shantae. And like some people have also brought up Risky, which could work, Risky Boots, but I mean, do we really want to put it in Would Want or Passing Interest?
Would Want. Shantae's iconic enough to be like.
We'll put it in Would Want.
Plus, she has a good moveset and stuff like that.
Shovel Knight. Now, this is an interesting one because Shovel Knight himself has been on the show. In fact, like to this day, it is the only indie game representation. But like, there's been so much development since that episode that it absolutely deserves to be on the show again. Given the sequel and the prequel and like all the DLC and like all the stuff we can do, I'm gonna put that in heck yeah.
Yeah, let's go. What is this?
It's basically like a pixel version of Resident Evil. Like, I've seen almost nothing. Like, I've seen clips, but like, I am not interested in it personally. Splendor.
No,
that's a massive. That's a pretty big no. That's a pretty big no.
Here's the thing. Like, and I know some people are gonna be confused because like, isn't Slenderman a creepypasta? Yes, he is. But Slenderman is a very interesting case because like a lot of creepypastas are just like one-off stories that are like public domain, or they're things that are like based on pre-existing IPs so they can't be copyrighted. But like Slenderman is actually a copyrighted character that has like official media. One of which being Slender the Arrival, which I chose to represent like Slenderman. I don't see them really getting much mileage out of him unless they like dip into like all the official media and like some of the things that like the creator has said he's like in line with Slenderman. And I've seen a couple matchups for him, like Sadako from The Ring. And like I would personally want like Jeff the Killer to fight him because that has a lot of behind it. But right now we'll put it in Don't Care. If they could get something out of Slenderman, I'd be interested, but most of us don't care.
Yeah.
Solar Ash.
Solar Ash. This one I've actually heard of, and I thought there could be something to it.
The same people who made like Dead Cells?
No, I think maybe I don't know, but I played it. I 100%ed it. I think it's fun. In fact, the main character. I remember After Us from earlier in the video.
Oh yeah.
That character versus the main character of Solar Ash is actually the matchup I have, because like they're very similar games when you play them. Like, in fact, I think they could work off each other really well as like a traversal mixed with combat. I think it could be really good, but it's also very niche. I would personally put it in passing interest. I don't know about the rest of you.
Absolutely.
I actually think that's fair. In the same tier as After Us, that's fair. Okie dokie.
Right,
Spark the Electric Jester.
Piffle is the only reason why I even know of this game.
I'd say this is the one that I can more closely see Spark versus Sonic, even though Sonic would definitely solo Spark too.
Like,
yeah, but that's the thing.
I'd personally want like Spark versus Lilac because that's at least more interesting.
Yeah, Spark
like,
versus Lilac, actually. Yeah, that would work. I think that can go in passing interest.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Super Meat Boy! Okay, how do we do this one? Super Meat Boy is also a Newgrounds mashup of people.
Like, I think it gains like the ability to punch in like Super Meat Boy Forever. So like, maybe he could work. I mean, I would have interest in it if you could get anything else out of Meat Boy himself.
Yeah.
But like, I don't. That's as far as it goes.
Okay, Terraria.
Yeah.
Who do you take? Who do you take from Terraria?
I've heard like the main character versus Steve from Minecraft.
The main character.
Honestly, that doesn't even surprise me. I mean,
I don't know where to put Terraria.
Honestly, I'd honestly put it at low passing interest, but it's literally hovering above Don't Care.
I don't really care that much, but I mean, if it were to show up, I'd have some mild interest, but
that's about it.
Passing interest would be Tinykin.
Tinykin. I am so embarrassed with myself. There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of these I haven't even freaking.
What the hell?
Tinykin is basically a Pikmin-inspired game, and I brought it up as like the main character's potential matchup for like Olimar and explain why that doesn't really work. Because like it's the same case as like Sonic versus Lilac, because
yeah, you brought this up, yeah.
He's a little tiny guy.
Yeah, like he's like the only person that would really fight Olimar, and even then the main character, Milo, he doesn't do much, and like he's the only one you would use. You can't use any of the other insects since they're just NPCs, so like I don't think it would work. I don't care. It's not fuck off tier because maybe you could squeeze something out of it, but Tormented Souls.
What?
It's another Resident Evil type game.
Oh,
another one. Okay.
No.
I honestly don't care at all.
We have two don't cares.
Yeah, I don't think I care that much. I haven't played the games myself, and there is a sequel in development. But from what I've seen, maybe the main character could work. But as of right now, I don't care. Tasmanian Tiger.
This one I have heard of, and I don't really know what that's and I really don't know how this would work.
In the same place that KO does.
Yeah, like where's KO? Where's KO? Yeah, don't care. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I guess that's fair.
Undertale is going to the top purely because of Kara vs. Sonic.exe.
Yeah. Any Undertale character aside from Frisk, I would not mind at all to be in Death Battle. I think it's deserving. I think heck yeah, it's deserving.
Untitled Goose Game. It is literally just a goose.
No.
Who the fuck is asking for Yandere Simulator? I'm actually putting that morally wrong. You know, I say that like I don't usually hold the games back when like they're inclusion just because of the creators. This is the one of the very few exceptions because like Yandere Dev is more incompetent than the Euphoric brothers, which says
that says a lot. That says a lot.
He's not just incompetent, he's creepy, and he takes more time just adding random things to the game, including a new mode that was finished before the actual game was finished, and really disgusting things like wanting to make the menu where the sun doesn't shine.
Ukulele.
Oh, I played ukulele fully. I can actually weigh in on this. Yeah, they could work.
Yeah, I have.
I wouldn't mind.
Yeah,
It's on wild interest.
I have interest in ukulele versus Banjo-Kazooie. Like that's like the matchup, and I think it'd be interesting. So
passing interest.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, especially because like. Actually, wait, hold on. Can I say one more thing before we move to that one?
Yeah.
I heard so much really bad stuff about ukulele, and then I played the game. What are you guys talking about?
There are far worse games. Far better games, but far worse.
It has flaws, but people are like, this is an insult to Banjo-Kazooie! No, it's not. It's just a nice, fun little project.
Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts is an insult to Banjo-Kazooie.
Plus, it's made by the same people who made Steven Turf. They know what they're doing.
Okay, Yume Nikki, the last one.
What is this?
Yume Nikki, do you even fight
now the cliche is even more justified because this is the last one and I have zero clue.
It is a psychological horror game. Kind of.
I take it's ranking very low.
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
I don't care. Like at most, I don't care but like, I don't think it could work. I've seen like clips, but they're very out of context. I don't know.
Nah, I don't.
Okay, that's it. That is the entire tier list. Okay.
Yay, finally done. That was actually a wild experience.
This is pretty good. I think.
All right. Well, I think that's the end of the video. That's gonna do it. Thank you guys so much for watching this, and glad to have Piffle and Exfredds here.
This was great.
Yeah, and I'll see you in the Kingdom Hearts era, hopefully.
Oh God.
Have a good day, everybody.